September 2023, we took our 2022 Badlands down to California to run the Rubicon Trail and invited along 3 of our friends with well-built FJ40s. The event was actually the 35th anniversary of the Toyota Land Cruiser's Rubithon run of the Rubicon Trail.
That was cool.
So we definitely tested our skid plates by putting the truck right on the middle of the skid plate, staying on the gas slightly, and doing a complete pirouette. The truck rotated on its own and lined itself up, grabbing traction. So the Rubicon's an amazing trail. We have 12 miles essentially of granite that a lot of times takes people about 3 days to drive. Sure, they're the buggies that can do it in a day, or if somebody wants to completely blow their back out and there's no traffic on the trail, but typically 3 days to do it comfortably.
Go at the tree.
We did need to pull cable at one point. We really high centered the truck on a pretty good sized boulder. That's the sacrifice of being the trail leader and not always running spotters out in front of me.
You're bound real hard.
You're on the back shock now. Now moving that rock and rolling it again.
Let me unhook you. There you go. You're off.
So the new prototype Sidewinder sliders, these are a high angle 25 degree, very aggressive. And the intention is to help keep your truck moving forward. That slight little kick out in the back will actually help push the truck away from an obstacle and save your quarter panel.
My dad's kind of behind.
Just that age limit where the kids were more into boating and stuff like that.
At the end of the first day on the trail, we got into Buck Island Lake and found a great place to set up camp. It's always a challenge to find an area that you can put a tent in an area that's just nothing but granite. But it's a beautiful spot.
I think we're gonna bypass them. Never mind, we're not bypassing.
What's that, buddy?
This is my first time taking the trail on in something other than a Land Cruiser. And the Bronco with its 4-corner coilover suspension did amazing. Very comfortable. Now, obviously longer wheelbase than an FJ40, so a lot more belly rub and skid plate needs. But the 40s with their short wheelbases, of course, just completely run the trail beautifully.
A little bit farther. See if you can get up on this rock right here. We'll pull that out. Yeah, you can pull the dip guard off if you want.
We have a shock mount that broke loose on an FJ. It was welded a long time ago. It cracked off, and so there's a little bit of shiny left down there. No big deal. Take the shock off, we'll weld it in camp.
After 24 plus years of hard trail use, the lower shock mount came off the front axle. Going hot.
So it's ugly, but I think it'll hold. Too hot.
So that takes some of
Yeah, the amperage, it drops the amperage down. So we're using a 15-year-old Brady Welder 2. It's a flux core spool welder that runs off of at least 2 car batteries, 3 if you want a lot of amperage. But it's been around for a long time, but the thing works pretty good. I just had to fight the drive roll system there for a little bit, so it was like driving and stopping, driving and stopping. But you know, it's gonna do the job, and it folds up pretty compact in a little suitcase, so it's easy to take on the trail. You just got to pull the batteries from the truck if you're going to do it, so therefore you don't have any ground backfeed through your computer or something like that. Now, of course, this 1974 FJ40 doesn't have a computer, but modern trucks, not a good idea. You always want to pull the batteries out. Just good practice.
Tires and still touch the ground. Convenient, don't have to touch it.
TLCA Rubithon has a RC rock crawling competition, and of course we had to have some crawlers go jump into that and have some fun. One of the key things about this year's 35th anniversary of Rubithon, it happened to land within the year of Marlon Krasinski, founding owner of Marlin Crawler, passing away. Just an amazing individual, and he's been a inspiration to all of us in the TLCA and the Land Cruiser, and honestly in just the off-road community, period. He is a steward of the Rubicon, an amazing individual. So honoring him at this year's 35th anniversary of the Rubithon was pretty amazing.
And our 4th inductee is Mark Hawley from Metal Tech. Come on up, Mark. I would like to welcome Mark into the Hall of Fame. Oh, there it is. I can't read properly. So our last...
The 2022 Badlands is pretty set up from the factory with the lockers and the things that the Badlands come with. What we've done is we've gone in and Metaltech's built the armor that's on the truck, and that arranges from the front winch mount system, and then we have our prototype, at this point in time anyways, 25-degree angle Sidewinder sliders. And then under the truck we've got our prototype skid plates, and it's a full skid plate system that goes from the engine all the way back, covering the transfer case, as well as fuel tank. And then on the back of the truck we have the Metaltech rear swing out bumper system carrying a full-size 35 and provisions for 2 fuel cans. And in this case, in the Rubicon, you don't use a lot of fuel, but you're living out there for, in this case for us, 5 days, and so we carried an extra 12 gallons of water.
So we got a Jeep with a lower link or an upper link that ripped off the frame, so they asked who had welding rods, so now we got a ready welder, so we're gonna help mount weld it on.
These need to be burned in here.
Yeah, those two. And then this whole thing on the
But
side.
why do you have a welder though? To help all the Jeeps on the truck?
Yeah.
Because the really pretty red 40, we already used it on the trip, so.
The Bronco is the first time I've ever had a vehicle that I was able to drive all 760 miles down to the Rubicon, run the Rubicon front to back, and then drive the same vehicle home again. That's pretty amazing.